they will take first pick. So we'll see how they want to draft this one. I imagine we're going to see something that revolves around the high prioritization of Falstad and Zeratul in this map to make sure that Black can either get Genji, Falstad, or the Zeratul. So very strong first pick right now in this meta, or at least the meta we presume will begin to flower and blossom here in this first evening with Genji available. Let's jump into our first draft and see if Genji is as highly contested as you and I expect.
Let's see, and also support fight will be real as Jaehyun on that Malfurion has been super crisp every single time, along with Merryday. But Merryday has a little bit larger of a hero pool to feel comfortable on that hero. He could also play Karazim, also Lucio has been the highlight of Merryday. Compared to Jaehyun, he has a better hero pool indeed.
Yeah. So this Dahaka ban is kind of what we were expecting, something like this. You and I were talking about this a lot before the match because we knew Black was going to have first pick. This means that they either get one of these three critical heroes. First of all, Falstad, and they also remove global, so they gain global control. They could get the Zeratul, which is terrifying and so strong right now. It's terrifying everybody with the top 3 teams especially. GG as well really likes their Zeratul. Or they get Genji.
Yep, I think it's a question that they're asking. Are you ready? Are you ready for our Genji, or are you going to ban it out because you're scared of it? What are your thoughts going into your mind? So GG instead, they're going all the way around. They're going to open Genji, Falstad, and Zeratul.
It's going to be Butcher.
Instead? What?
All right. Well, nobody saw that one coming. Okay. By the way, this is still on the...
we're on the Genji patch.
Laughing at. We're on the Genji patch. There are no changes to Butcher on the current PTR patch that was just pushed live either. So not entirely sure what is the thought process here, but I guess we're going to learn something new tonight. Either that or it's a misclick. This will give over the Zeratul and probably the Falstad as well, which is why GG made the right choice to ban the Vala. They almost fell into the trap of banning Falstad, and I was like, ooh, you don't want to do that. But, yeah, I don't know what they're going to run with this. With the Butcher, it feels less likely that Black will use Genji in this draft at all.
Maybe they're going all-in dive. So GG's going to take both Falstad and Zeratul, and they just left Genji open, which means maybe they have not really practiced too much of Genji.
Oh, there he is.
There he is with Tyrael. This feels like a dive comp to me.
Oh, yeah, it does. Now remember, even though we talked about how Genji operates kind of like a melee assassin because he dashes right into the fray or away, he needs to be close and personal to get the maximum shuriken damage done, as well as when he uses his Dragon Blade, he goes into the fray like a melee, just like Overwatch. And even if he uses X Strike, he's still going to be up in close and personal, looking to do that damage. So having the protection of Tyrael is going to be very important. But it's still noted, we have to really hammer this home, he's still a ranged hero in terms of his auto attack, so it's not like they're doubling up on melees here necessarily with the Butcher. They're going to gain power from both heroes will gain power from Tyrael. They're looking to highlight the Karazim ban. Now, I was wondering if this might be an Uther ban situation because of what Uther can provide to both Butcher and Genji.
That's right, Divine Shield on Genji is basically the Nano Blade from Overwatch. So we saw that I saw that happening from lots of Korean streamers, especially the pros like Sake and Merryday coming out, and Hyde also. So maybe we're going to see lots of Uther coming out along with Genji as a combo.
Cassia's going to come in here. So blinding. Obviously, the Butcher is very powerful. It's a big target. Abathur, Lucio, they're going all in on this one. For the map, Abathur gains a lot of value as a global.
Oh my. And
this can make Genji terrifying paired with the Butcher in the early game.
Genji is already pretty quick, and getting that boost from Lucio will be even more faster, and Butcher can dive in. Abathur will have the global control over the map. I think Black really had they're really on fire already.
Okay, here's the ETC lock-in for the final pick in terms of tanking. This is what we're going to be seeing for GG. A lot of early game CC, potentially a global as well, but I doubt it. I think this is mostly going to be mosh pit oriented. There's a lot to talk about here. I mean, I feel like this is a comp where, I mean, I'm being totally honest, I feel like it could even be the first time we see reverse amp potentially to slow down the targets for Genji's Dragon Blade to actually finish off the kills. It's still more likely we'll see the sound barrier, just like Overwatch, but do want to entertain the possibility as we jump into game number 1 for Good Game versus MVP Black here on Cursed Hollow. In blue, GG, BDG on Cassia, Jaehyun on Malfurion, Good on Zeratul, Hooligan on ETC, and Ujay on the Falstad.
In red, MVP Black, Sake on Lucio, Reset on the Butcher, Test on Tyrio, Gyocha on Avatar, and Maryday on Genji?
Okay.
I was doubting myself as we saw Sake on Lucio.
Well, that's weird. Well, this is definitely...
Maryday on Genji, that is correct,
yes.
guys.
Yes, that is real.
What's going on with Black today? Let's see. Let's see what they have in plan.
So, speaking of dive, we're going to go for Agile Dismount already for Genji at level 1. I'll kind of like take you guys through the talents a few times today so you can get an idea of how this is going to be played in pro play. It's going to give them the ability to jump further and faster while mounted. So, you can rotate into a fight from a lane really quickly. This just breaks my brain to Sasaki on Lucio, but okay.
But it is Cassia solo top lane, so against the Avatar, he's going to have a lot of pushing power. And Falstad is actually on the bottom lane contesting against Tyrio. Whenever Falstad needs to come up, he can have that global soak a little bit faster.
So
GG side.
This is the idea here with the Genji rotation with Abathur together, is that when you get pushed hard like this, you can rotate in for the gank. Obviously, it's going to be much better against a different type of solo laner. Against Cassia specifically, her trait will help protect a little bit. She can get out there, especially with Malfurion together. Roots are going to be one of the biggest enemies of Genji. Obviously, it's going to stop him from being mobile in team fights. So that's one thing as well to be terrified of, because Jaehyun has been hitting the roots really well, as we talked about in the draft. Maryday gets picked off here already. They're going to try to make this a 1-for-1. Just barely not able to. With the symbiote.
Sake is rooted, but has that wall ride talent. Actually, Butcher also gets cut out. GG's off to a better start for sure.
Definitely so, with the double here. Having total lane control of the top lane, and they get the pick onto Sake as well. So make that a triple. Entirely sure what he was doing in that location, but perhaps the lack of experience on Lucio showing through here as GG takes a massive lead going into our first tribute spawn.
Ooh, does miss that strike at the very end. It's close. That's the thing about Genji. He has a steed to just jump over the wall, or just you can just E into a fight over the wall and just run away with the D. Either way, you can run away or dive in so quickly by yourself.
Yeah,
so you really have to watch out on Genji.
And both of those abilities have such a short cooldown as well that as long as you manage them efficiently, you should be able to get out of most situations or get into most situations. Hooligan going to eat a little bit of the Toxic Next damage before he starts to channel. Maryday is looking to poke once again. Remember, Maryday is normally known for really, hold that thought, Good's going to get caught here as symbiote damage against him, and the attack speed will escape. Oh, or perhaps I spoke too soon. Al Druin's in the smite to confirm the kill.
Maybe he already used the blink, so he couldn't really blink away from that.
But just to go back to my point again, Maryday's not really known for playing these really high-intensive skill cap heroes in terms of range. In terms of melee, yes, with the Kharazim he's known for, but just again, unusual hero picks we didn't expect to see, especially because Saka was saying that he wanted to play Genji himself.
That's right, there was a big roll up, and there's a big root on the Tis, but he can just green away. Doesn't even need to. There's a Butcher coming in right on Cassia. There she is, already gone. That's the thing about Black's comp. If they can just target one, and before cleanse, if there is no cleanse, Butcher can just dive in, charge in, and if Black can just focus fire on one target, going to be a kill for sure.
Definitely. That's the key, and that's going to be super easy post 10. Now, Meriday will just barely get out here. Now, just to explain this interaction to those who don't know, the reason why he's able to dive in like that and why he nearly died but was able to get away was if he secures a takedown, he will get a reset on his Swift Strike, which is his big dash. So we'll see oftentimes Genji's dive over the wall to get kills because if they secure the kill, they could dive back with the Swift Strike. However, if you fail to confirm the kill, you're usually going to be slowed by the fort and then killed by turrets and everything else. So it's a risky move.
It also has to be within the next 2 seconds, I believe, very short amount of time. So if you miss that time, being that you might actually find yourself dead.
Exactly. So you have to make sure to confirm the kill, which is why that was such a risky move there. The route was really well placed. Did just do enough damage to get the kill. So with these good target selections coming up from Black and these several picks, they have tied us up 3-3, and they did secure that last tribute. So the things were looking a little bit rough for them, they have certainly turned it around. Meriday here is going to have to parry his way out of this one with his deflection. So the blind is always super important to be on reset non-stop, because if it's not, then he's going to do massive amounts of damage.
There's a big line. BDG hits a lot of damage, but ETC comes in for the secure, but actually Genji is the one that actually falls before.
And this is, when you compare these two compositions, there's just not a lot of range damage on the side of MV Black, which is the weakness that they face. So if GG gets a good angle like this, and the choke point can maximize the value of their range damage, the hammerings coming out, Cassia as well, just kind of holding off those choke points, good blinds coming in, then obviously MV Black's going to have an issue, which is what we saw there. So 1-1 now on tributes, as Abathur stole some soak, and is going to head back as he sees the rotation down with his Toxic Nest off the Zeratul. So 10 is really going to be the big power spike for Black in terms of team fighting. We're getting very close. I have a really strong feeling this is going to be Dragon Blade. I don't think this is going to be an X-Strike. There's a very aggressive position here on Sake. Will get out. He's helping the symbiote. Are you feeling that as well? Or you think it's going to be Dragon Blade, or you think it's going to be X-Strike here?
Well, X-Strike does come out sometimes, and there's a Lucio gone already. And Meriday trying to look over kill over good. He manages to get a kill at the very end. Reset gets very low, gets taken out. So going back to your question, maybe X-Strike, and pros have been talking about X-Strike as kind of like Metamorphosis as an escape tool also. And GG has a lot of CC available for their side. I think it depends on Meriday, whichever he wants to go for. But the fact that their team comp is so based on Genji only.
Oh,
deflect not. It was a good attempt, but gets caught by the mosh pit, and that was it. So
this is actually first point now for GG. It's just not been the most careful game by MV Black, let's say. There's going to be Dragon Blade coming out, and Lambs to the Slaughter from Butcher as well. Definitely going to be the Sanctification. You have to imagine that's the entire reason why they drafted Tyrael. They're going to entertain the thought of Judgment.
Maybe even Judgment, they can literally go all into one target.
I mean, it's going to be insane when you think about what can be done with Judgment. You have that single target, then he's stunned by the Butcher, then he's silenced, and then Dragon Blade comes in, and then suddenly the fight is definitely a 5v4, if not a 5v3. So you could definitely make arguments for it, and it seems to be rising in popularity, especially amongst the community after we saw the matches last week.
Is that L5 versus MVP Black. Noble Eyes picking Judgment on instantly, spontaneously during the match, and they won that Powers of Doom match. Here's a team fight.
Okay, here's a Dragon Blade, but no value. He's silenced immediately. Has to retreat. Valkyrie looking for the grab here. There's the disengaging Gus. Meriday's still alive, wants to poke, get more of his Shuriken quest up. Shuriken Mastery, he did take that at level 4. Oh, this is disastrous. Reset has no protection. He's trying to get into the Void Prison. Sanctification is just a moment too late. Can't be paired with the Dragon Blade anymore, and this is just going to be a disastrous fight for Black. They will have Curse upon them now. The boss is still pushing a little bit, actually, so that's kind of annoying. It's actually, yeah, still pretty healthy. Looking for the fly-in kill here onto Meriday. Just barely not able to get it.
There's the agility and Swift Strike right away, and Tist actually will get caught at the very end, too.
This is going to be potentially a keep. The boss is already working on the wall, and they're just going to push this down. They have so much poke. Several dead for MV Black. It's just going to be a problem here. I'm trying to not really trash on MVP Black's or hero composition here, but it's just, even on paper, I'm like,
it's like Meride saying to Sake, see how hard Lucio can be, try it yourself. And Sake does get caught by that there, so again, it's very low, gets taken out. There's a big 3-man mosh on MVP Black. GG is just touring MVP Black apart on this cursed hollow.
Well, we had the question mark going to this series. Can GG take a win off MVP Black? Will it be in that potentially Black is not invincible going into the playoffs? But I don't feel like this game really answers the question, G-Club. It's going to be it. GG will take game number 1. Defending against the rangeless composition with the role swap from Sake and Meride, and reset on the Butcher, going back to his roots. Remember, unlike Meride, Reset actually has the proclivity of playing melee heroes. That was his old role on MVP Miracle before swapping teams for HGC 2017. So, well, that was